Hi everyone, I'm Deborah Exum, and in today's video we'll be looking at 3 sleep trackers for your bullet journal. The first one's called Sleepy Eyes. We'll be drawing eyes of all shapes and sizes for this page. But before we get started with that, we want to add some color. We're going to use some calm blues and go for an ombre effect for our background. I'm mixing up a dark blue and a light blue. The dark should go on the top and the light on the bottom, and I'm using a really wide paintbrush so I can just put a wash of color on there without it taking a lot of time. There isn't much difference from the top to the bottom, so we'll mix up a little more dark color and try covering that top again. We'll have to be careful not to let the page get too wet, so if this isn't enough, we'll have to let it dry and try again. Luckily, I think that's about got it. I'm going to use a tissue to dab some of that water off there so the page doesn't get too wet. And in the end, we sort of look like we have a 1990s sponge painting going on. And now that that's dry, we can write in our title and all those eyes. I had a real fun time thinking about all the different shapes and sizes people have in their eyes. So you'll see I tried to do some that are curved and some that are flatter, some angled, some straight, all different kinds of eyebrows, some neat ones, some bushy ones, some arched ones. I just really had a good time drawing all these sleepy eyes. I ended up drawing 15 pairs of eyes for this page, which will cover 30 days of tracking. If you have a month with 31 days, you'll have to get creative. One idea I thought of was to draw a pair of eyes with one eye open and one eye closed. I also thought it'd be fun to add some sort of silly one-eyed monster to the page so you could have that extra eye for your 31st day. So the big question is, how are you going to use this to track sleep hours? Well, the eyelashes is how we're going to do it. So for mine, I was using one eyelash to represent 1 hour of sleep. So you could use 2, but I thought if you had an eyelash for every 30 minutes of sleep, it might get too crowded. You might not be able to tell how much sleep you had gotten. So I actually got 10 hours of sleep last night, which is highly unusual. So that eye gets 10 eyelashes. And you can see I added some stars to the page too. Our next tracker is called Get Your Z's. In this tracker, we're going to keep up with our hours of sleep by tracking 1 hour per Z. Let's get our header on there and draw 1 pair of sleeping eyes for this one. The inspiration for this tracker came from cartoons. Anytime you see a comic book page with somebody sleeping, there's always a thought bubble with a bunch of Z's in it, and that's the concept here. So we'll have 1 oval or thought bubble for each day of sleep we're tracking. We don't want to leave our tracker just black and white, so again we'll use all of our calm, cool blues and periwinkles and teal colors to fill our thought bubbles to make our page more colorful and more enjoyable. Our next step is to add the days of the month to each of the bubbles. We'll add a moon and some stars to complete this page. And then some Z's. For this day, we'll say we got 7 hours of sleep, so 7 Z's. I suppose you could do a partial Z or a smaller Z to represent part of an hour if you wanted to do that. Paint our moon and we're finished. Get your Z's. Next up, sleep like a princess. This tracker is a take on the Princess and the Pea story. We're going to draw a stack of mattresses in bright colors with cool designs. Not only will we be able to record our hours of sleep, but also the time we went to bed, the time we got up, and any breaks in sleep during the night. We'll record the days of the month down the left side of the page, and then across the bottom we'll do the time. I started with 7 p.m. and ended at noon. You could adjust those depending on what your regular hours of sleep are. Now we'll draw that bed and all those mattresses. For the top mattress, we'll have the covers turned back and a little bit of sheet hanging off there. And then of course, because the bed is so tall, we'll have to have a ladder so you can climb in. Next, we'll add some color. I wasn't shy about the colors I used. I wanted to have a good variety and have some nice bright colors in here. And also you'll note that I wasn't super neat about it. This is more like a cartoon picture, so it's okay if the color bleeds over the edges a little. After we get all our color in there, we're going to go back with a white pen and add some decoration to some of the mattresses. I never really understood why mattresses were so decorative. They have colors and patterns over them when you're just going to cover them up. But in this case, it was fun. I stuck with a white pen because I wanted to use the black one to record my sleep and didn't want the details of the mattresses interfering with that. Now we're going to actually record a couple of days' time on here. Because this is a blank piece of paper, I'm having to draw lines first across the day and then to mark my dots for my wake time and sleep time and connect them with a line. If this was dot paper or grid paper, this would be a whole lot easier. I probably should go all the way through and draw the lines for the days so I don't have to do it for each day. But here you can see one day I got lots of sleep, the next day not so much, and those vertical lines are showing where I woke up for a few minutes in the night. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video. I hope you have fun tracking your Z's through one of these trackers. I'm Deborah Exum, where we plan to create and create a plan.